The old lead mine near Toyerek, where Thomas had had his accident many years ago, had been closed in the 1930s when the mines went dry. However, sometime later the mines had reopened, and nowadays uranium is brought down from the mines and taken to the docks. Recently, Percy had been assigned to pick up trucks that were brought from the mine, which was a job that either Thomas or Toby would usually do. Percy arrived at Toyerek, and, to his surprise, the trucks were already there.
I guess either Thomas or Toby must have brought them down for me.
Later that night, Percy was talking to Thomas and Toby about the day's events.
Trucks kept slipping their brakes on, and it really was a pain.
Oh, that reminds me. Thanks to whoever brought down the trucks from the mine for me.
Don't look at me, I was at the harbour.
A puzzled look crossed Thomas's face.
But it wasn't me. I was at the junction.
I just assumed it was one of you two. I don't think there's anyone else who could have done it. Mavis is only allowed as far as the top station, and there's no way it could have been Daisy.
You know what? Now I think about it, I've never once questioned how the trucks got to the station. I would just take them to the harbour.
I never really questioned it either, and we usually talk about our day when we get to the sheds, but thinking back, I don't think any of us have talked about going to the mine in years.
I wonder who's bringing the trucks down from the mine.
From then on, the engines became very vigilant whenever they passed the line that led to the mine. Percy would try to arrive as quickly as possible to try and catch the engine, but try as he might, the trucks would already be there every time. One day, Percy was rushing to try and catch the engine again, when suddenly he felt a sharp pain in his side.
Ouch!
Percy came to a grinding halt in the middle of the line. His driver climbed down and looked him all over.
Oh, that's torn it. Your cylinder's failed because of all the rushing you've been doing lately.
Percy looked down at the rails.
You can't go in that state. We'll have to get another engine to come and get us.
The fireman ran ahead to the next signal box while the driver and guard set detonators on the line. About 15 minutes later, Percy spotted an unfamiliar red cab approaching him. The unknown engine buffered up to Percy and took him to the next station. The engine then shunted Percy into a siding and then sidled up alongside. Percy looked over and noticed a golden nameplate that read King George.
Oh, thank you very much for rescuing me. My name is Percy and...
You stupid engine! I've heard about your shenanigans. Rushing around like it's nobody's business. You've got to handle your work with care and not be careless.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to meet you.
Why on earth did you want to do that?
None of us on the branch line had ever seen you bringing down trucks from the mine, so I just wanted to try and get there before you did.
That is the stupidest reason I've ever heard in my life. You are incredibly lucky that my owner and your Sir Topham Hatt have agreed to let me take this train for you.
And with that, a very grumpy King George arranged the train and trundled down the line. Soon, Percy had been completely checked and was scheduled to be taken to the works later that evening. Percy was miserable when he spotted King George returning cab first along the line.
Was it worth it?
Percy said nothing. He just looked at his buffers. He was far too ashamed.